Great day for crypto. XRP looking strong, stretching its legs in the green. That's what we like to see. And we really want to get some continued momentum here within the crypto space. Let's just look at this. Look at this chart. What a beautiful thing. Again, nothing major, just stretching its legs, XRP up, crypto looking good. That's what we want here. And I saw this article here. Is XRP mispriced? Yeah, you betcha it is. But beyond that, and maybe even more importantly, the whole asset class is mispriced. When you think about where we came from, the fact that crypto companies were being sued by the SEC, crypto assets were being called illegal securities. Now, the environment we find ourselves now, not to mention we're probably going to get regulations here, maybe by April. Could that be a big catalyst for this market? Like just that alone, that regulatory pressure being taken off this asset class, that should have seen values pop. It hasn't happened yet. It's going to. Markets will always find true value. But beyond that, we've seen precious metals. They've had their run. You've seen tech stocks, especially around AI, a lot of growth there some time ago. But real estate, already seen a lot of growth there. Look at values there. When you look across the litany of things you could invest in, well, really, crypto is the most undervalued there is for a lot of reasons. And then XRP specifically, it has been suppressed for years. And we have a lot of catching up to do and a lot of growth ahead of us. Is XRP mispriced? You betcha it is, Grayscale. Like, what a ridiculous article here. It's mispriced in a big way. Now we see this. XRP transfers soar 300%. Institutions moving on chain. You're seeing people out there, a lot of analysts are saying, oh, don't pay attention to that. With XRP, it doesn't matter that there's transactions. It's not the right kind of transactions. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This is usually an indicator that things are heating up and we're going to see some price action here. And I don't care what type of transactions it are. They only apply this kind of logic to XRP. They don't do it for Bitcoin. They darn sure don't do it for Ethereum. Like, we're seeing the chain being used, and that's telling us that there's a lot of action out there, a lot of liquidity, and you're going to see prices rise. That's a huge indicator, and it continues to build. Now, David Schwartz, he weighs in on Ripple share buybacks and their impact on XRP holders. This is what I tell you. We look at every chain. We get excited about Michael Saylor or ETFs or BlackRock building on Ethereum. The only chain is XRP where it's a bad thing. We have a multi-billion-dollar company building blockchain solutions with XRP and XRP Ledger. It's stupid. You should be excited about this. We want to see Ripple do well. If they are going up in value, that means what they are doing is working. And what they are doing is they're using XRP to rebuild the financial system. This is bullish. This is a bullish indicator. We want to see it, and we are seeing it more importantly. Now, BlackRock, they named crypto and tokenization as themes driving markets in 2026. I love to see this because I've been saying it for as long as I've been around. XRP Ledger has been built specifically for this use case, the hottest use case, not just in crypto, but markets in general. And I think it's going to do quite well and catch a lot of that growth. The original idea of this blockchain, put anything of value, stocks, real estate, precious metals, put that on the ledger, dollar bills, yen, yuan, whatever. Throw it on the ledger. XRP bridge currency, that is what this was built to do, and it's good to see they're really leaning in on this at just the right time. This is an area that XRP Ledger can absolutely dominate. Now, we have the CEO of Robinhood saying tokenized stocks. They're jumping in here, but they believe that it's going to be more popular, at least to begin with, outside of the United States in underserviced markets, much like other areas of crypto, right? He says stock trading is pretty good. Financial products are pretty good here in the United States, but they really want to do this because you see a lot of these large caps are growing bigger and bigger and bigger. We need more investors. We need more money flowing into these stock markets. And so that's what they're doing. It's just like the dollar with stablecoins where they're shooting it into all sorts of different territories. They want overseas investors investing in American markets. That's why you see this technology being supported, and it's going to be a game changer. Now, he went on to say, look, we're probably going to get around-the-clock trading with current infrastructure here in the U.S., but really this is the game changer overseas as we take these markets globally. I think it's going to be big here in the U.S. as well, though, because of all the different things you can do with your assets when you tokenize them. I think it is a game changer. Now, he also went on to say he sees no advantage to getting a bank charter like we saw with Kraken and like what Ripple's trying to do. And then this is the line where my spidey senses. This guy is always, he's always a puppet for the banks, for the big time investors. He says community banks, well, they're great partners. Who would want to be a bank themselves? Like, come on, Vlad, knock it off. Of course you want to be a bank. Why do you think banks are banks? It's kind of silly. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. Now, a lot of people out there don't know this because, again, and you've heard it from me, where we're like, hey, you want to on Bitcoin run your own node and everyone should participate. But that's not what Satoshi originally envisioned. Listen to this quote. He says, the current system, talking about every user in the network running its own node, that's not the intended configuration or large scale. He thought, this would go institutional, that, big time businesses and governments would run nodes, and that essentially Bitcoin would rival Visa in terms of transactions per second and volume. And that's not what happened, is it? We transitioned to this idea of, oh no, we need to keep things simple hardware, hold the network back. And my question is this, why? Why did we make that decision? Is it because it's what's best for Bitcoin? Or is it some nefarious individuals, maybe government, that kind of captured some of the minds of Bitcoin and said, oh no, you don't want a highly capable decentralized network because, well, it might replace a lot of the traditional infrastructure. It's interesting to think about. Again, most people don't know that the way the network is today, that was not Satoshi's original vision. Now, Satoshi's not, some religious figure where we have to listen to him. We can do what's best as a network, but, we've diverged from what he originally thought we should do. A strategy, buying a lot of Bitcoin here. Sometimes he really sets the top, unfortunately. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll sell off from here. He buys $1.6 billion in Bitcoin. Sometimes I joke that he's a bad investor. Really, he's just the biggest buyer. So once he buys, there's not a lot behind him there, is there? So we'll see. Does this mean this is the top for this little run-up we've had? Maybe it is. Only time will tell. Circle, overtaking BlackRock and tokenized treasuries as their market hits $11 billion. I think this is what shows you. Your traditional finance, your BlackRocks, your Fidelities, your bankers like JP Morgan, Bank of America, they're titans, but it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout between traditional finance and the newcomers, those in blockchain that are ready to dominate. Now that we have regulations on our side and they have the tech on their side, this is going to be interesting. Again, that's a big deal. Circle overtaking BlackRock, and make no mistake, BlackRock is making this a priority. They want to tokenize everything. They want to tokenize every asset. Your house, my house, or retirements, you name it. If it's something you could own, they want to control it. Best believe that. And for Circle to be outpacing them here with treasuries, well, hey, that's a heck of a sign that these crypto companies are going to be able to compete. Lastly, I said this right here. Do you think XRP can catch a sustained run here? Again, just a little run up here today. When I screenshotted that, it was up 8%. Is this going to continue, or is it just, we've seen this before, we have little rallies and then we sell off, back to hell we go? Let me know down below what you are seeing transpiring here, and we will check in again tomorrow. Let me know, as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.